waters diving deep once again.
What's going on, everybody? This is twinflamesunite, and we are at it again. And if you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha. What up?
And today we got a short little video that we wanted to go in on some things. And once again, this is unscripted, off the hip. We just going right into it.
Shooting straight from the hip. That's it. We don't have any notes.
And speaking of notes, you can just say no.
Oh,
that's the subject.
That's it.
That's the whole title of the video.
That's what we're going with. No.
Yeah. Because see, and it's real simple. Because when it comes down to it, whenever you're engaging in any type of action, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's working with the government or anything of that nature, there's an agreement that has to be made. And if you don't agree to the terms and conditions, you can do what? What can you do?
You could say no. You can.
You can
say no. No, thank you. If you're a polite person, like my kids, when I ask them to do something, you know, they just say no, thank you, mommy. No, thank you. Like they.
No thanks.
No thanks. No thank you. You can say no. That's your. I mean, we all have something called free will. And oftentimes, you know, I know they pay people big bucks. Like, there are people whose job is to figure out what is free will.
They get paid millions.
They get paid millions to study free will, this thing that's called free will. So, you can say no. If there is something that's taking place and it doesn't feel morally right, or it's not vibing with you, guess what you can say? Oh, no thank you. I'm really not interested in taking part in this activity. At this present time, I feel like it's invasive and it's not a vibrational match, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, and just notice how this can go across all scenarios. Including the current situation that's going on right now.
Yep.
If it's something that you don't agree with, stand up and say no. Because here's the thing. Because you're starting saying, Chris, at least, you know, I don't want to get into all of that. You know, I'm just going to be silent and I'm going to sit back.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you the dangers in that. Because the word of the day, children, is acquiescing.
You know what? This is what this video is going to be titled.
Acquiescing.
Say it again.
Acquiescing.
And what is that?
Acquiescing means that somebody comes to you with some terms and conditions, right? And they say, okay, like, Leisha,
right,
I'm going to give you these keys. I'm going to put these keys right here for you to have. And they're for you to keep, and you don't have to do anything with it.
Just keep it?
Well, that didn't work out right.
Oh.
Okay. Let's just say, okay.
We're going to try another example.
We're going to try another example. It's uncut.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say, okay, these are your keys, right?
Okay.
These are your keys.
Okay.
So, Leisha, I'm gonna take your car. I'm gonna use it for the rest of the year. Do my stuff. I'm gonna see you later.
Huh? Wait, what?
Now, here's the thing. Because Leisha has a couple of options. She can raise hell and say, no, give me back my keys. That's my car.
Right.
Or she can agree to it and say, okay, yeah, you use my car.
Or she could just do like what I did, huh? What?
Because, now, if you notice what happened, that's called acquiescing. That means that you don't respond to what's going on. Okay? And so because she didn't acquiesce, now I'm off in the car and she's sitting here stranded.
I'm stranded. I ain't got no car. He done told me, listen, I'm taking your car and I'm going to keep it for a whole year. And I just got the day in the headlights look like, okay.
Don't fall for it.
That's the banana in the tailpipe.
Now, and you know, we acquiesce all the time.
All all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And we think that just because somebody, has or is this authoritative figure,
or has our best interests,
or we might think they have our best interests at heart because that's what we're programmed to believe, right? Then it's okay. They can tell us to do just about anything, even though it's not morally right. And because they have that authoritative figure, we're going to go ahead and acquiesce, and we're going to go ahead and do it anyways because they're supposed to be in charge, HNIC. Right? And now it's to the point where if you try to speak up for yourself, it's difficult because then you're a psychopath or a sociopath or you're a narcissist or you're anti-socialist if you are exercising your free will to say no.
Yeah. And here's another thing that that we acquiesce on so many things, because not to mention all of the privacy agreements that, like, if you signed up for YouTube, right? YouTube has terms and conditions in order for you to sign up and have an account. How many of you all actually read that agreement?
Not a lot, because it's long. It's a lot of stuff to read.
And there's a lot of stuff that you may be agreeing to that you don't even know about.
Right.
Okay? And so it happens so often. Like, for example, who told you that you were a particular nationality?
You didn't choose that.
You didn't have any say-so in it.
It was
you just took what some authority figure said and it's like, I guess that's me. I mean, I look like what they're...
That's what it is. So I'm gonna go with it. That's what it is, because somebody said so.
Yeah. And in a nutshell, acquiescing is just not questioning.
Right.
It's okay to question.
Right. You can question something. You can ask the question. But you know what? In society, we've been conditioned to not ask questions, especially not those authoritative figure, When I was growing up, it was the biggest thing. Leisha, don't question God. And that was the biggest thing, and that's where it starts. Like, you're not supposed to ask questions, and it's like,
especially if you're in history class,
right?
And somebody tells you Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Oh my God!
You're like, well, hold up, teacher.
Wait a minute,
but
what?
There were people there before he got there. Like,
you know what? You're doing too much.
We're gonna put you in the special class.
You disrupting the class, so you're gonna go sit in the back. Because what I told you is that he discovered the Americas, okay? That's what he did. He discovered it.
Right.
But, so if you say, but hold up now. But you just told me that people were living there before he came there, right? Yes, I said that. Okay. And so you also told me that when you discover something, that means it's new. No one ever seen it before, right? Yep. Okay. So how is that he didn't discover?
Yeah.
And then you're a troublemaker.
Yeah.
You're a troublemaker because you're asking questions and you're trying to clarify things that does not make sense.
Yeah.
And then now you're a conspiracy theorist because nobody wants to answer your questions because they know that if they answer your questions, they're going to tell on themselves. And now they're no longer going to be that authoritative figure that is trustworthy, apparently.
So, in reality, you have the ability to say no
and to question things that doesn't make sense to you instead of going along with the narrative.
Right.
And one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind, okay? Slavery was once something that was legal.
It was legal.
It was very legal, okay? And for the people who try to set the captives free. If you were setting slaves free, you were a criminal. Okay? If you were doing the right thing,
go to jail.
You will go to jail if you're setting slaves free. Okay? You will be called a criminal. Another thing that was illegal.
Another thing that was legal was to the whole Holocaust thing.
Oh yeah, they did that
at one point because there was a whole thing. Like it was cool.
Hey,
like if you didn't turn. Okay, if you didn't turn over a Jew, you would go to jail.
Going to jail.
You would get the same treatment they're going to get.
Pass. You don't get 200. Pass. Go. You do not. You go straight to jail.
Yeah, it was totally legal.
Right. So you see, This is why you don't get rocked to sleep. Don't let people rock you to sleep, because you have to live from the heart space. You live from the heart space. That's where you live. Everybody who's supposed to be in charge, okay, they're not necessarily living from the heart space, and they really don't have your best interest at heart.
They do not. How can somebody have your best interest at heart and they never knew you? They don't know you. They don't know what you like. They don't know what you dislike. So how can they have your best interest at heart?
Think about it.
Everybody
Really?
doesn't have the same blood type. So how they gonna mandate something for everybody that doesn't have the same blood type?
Come on now. Think about it. You got to think about it. You have some people who's allergic to spinach, while other people would thrive off of spinach. Everybody is not the same.
Right.
They
Some
don't-
people are allergic to peanuts. Some are not.
How you gonna say? Well, today I'm gonna say everybody have a
Peanut butter and jelly
have
sandwich.
peanut. Everybody has to eat peanut butter and jelly. For the next 2 to 3 weeks, because that's what we need to survive. Well, guess what? That peanut butter and jelly is gonna kill a nice part of the population, and then they're gonna say it's okay.
Oh, we need to back up. We don't need to give them no ideas.
Right.
We don't need to give them no ideas.
They're gonna be like, right. Let's roll back.
Yeah, we'll roll back on that.
But you see, you get what we trying to say. Stop acquiescing. Stop just going along with the narrative because you think somebody in charge has your best interest at heart. You have your best interest at heart 24 hours of the day, 7 days of the week.
365 days.
Right. You know what's best for you, and you know what works for you. You can't let some one-size-fits-all agenda tell you what's good for you. Come on now.
And even going into a relationship status, like somebody wants to get in bed with you, you tell them no.
Yeah, no.
Because for one, they got to prove themselves how they even qualify to get into your bed.
Right.
Like they got to show and prove.
Yeah.
Like actually, let me take some time. Let me not let you in my bed for the next 6 months,
Right.
and let's see how you act.
Right.
And in the meantime, you can't be masturbating or anything like that. I'm
Right.
just putting that out there. Hope we ain't got no kids watching. But you set some terms and conditions, and you see
Yeah.
this person is really for you.
Right. Say no. No, and it is okay to say no. I don't understand why we are so afraid of saying no, thank you. It's very simple. No, thank you. And just because everybody is doing something, it does not mean that that is what you should be doing. It does not mean that it aligns with what is morally right.
Yeah, because if everybody was jumping off a bridge to their death, are you gonna do the same thing?
Let me go because everybody's doing it. Like that's such a
Idiotic way of living.
That is-
I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. That is very idiotic.
Don't do that. I mean,
Okay.
just because everybody's doing something, it doesn't mean that you should be doing it too. It really, all it means is that everybody's doing it. That is all that it means. It doesn't mean that
It is
they're
what it
doing
is.
the right thing, guys. Okay? Back in the day when you had going back to the slavery again, back in days when you had the slavery and you had that one person who was standing up against the iniquity, and they were saying, no, this isn't right. And everybody's, oh, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? This is the life that we know. You're going to get us killed. You're going to get us hurt. Sit down.
And just to bring it back onto a lighter side, back in the early 90s, Criss Cross was on and popping right now. And they made it very popular to wear your clothes backwards.
Yeah.
And, I had a lot of friends that wore
so
their clothes
true.
backwards.
Yeah.
But I was like, how am I gonna zip up my pants?
Right.
What if I got an emergency and so I didn't do it,
It was trending.
but it was something that's trending. Everybody
And everybody
was
was doing it.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Just because
But you
everybody's
see-
doing it doesn't mean you need to do
It
it.
don't mean you need to do it. It doesn't mean that it works for you. Maybe it really doesn't work for you. And what are you gonna do? Just do it anyways, just so you can keep up with the Joneses? Like, come on now.
That's how a lot of people get in debt.
Everything is not for everybody. Just remember that.
It's real simple.
Okay? It's real
So-
simple.
So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women.
here's a quick tip for you. You have free will.
Yeah.
It's just hard as hell to express it,
Mhm.
but you have free will.
You have it. You always have a choice. Sometimes the choices are just unreal.
Yep.
But you always have a choice.
Always got a
You
choice.
always have a choice. Don't let anybody back you into a corner. Okay?
Even if they back you into a corner,
You
you're
still-
in the corner.
And you still
You
got
still
a
got-
choice.
Still got a choice.
You still got a choice. All right? Stand up for what you know is right.
And find out who you are.
And don't let anybody scare you into doing something that you don't want to do. Okay? There's a lot of fear in the recipe right now. A lot of fear in this recipe, whatever they're cooking up. It's a lot of fear. And they just keep adding more fear. More fear. More fear. And you really have to use critical thinking.
Right.
You really have, if you've never utilized critical thinking, now is the time. Now is the time that you really need to connect the dots.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we played connect the dots, and I don't think that we played connect the dots for no reason when we were kids. I think it was designed that way.
Now, one other thing before we head out of here, because in order to do this, what we're saying, you have to get out of the fight or flight mode.
Oh, speak on it.
Okay, we have been hardwired to, actually not so much hardwired, it's just that we have been manipulated to be in the fight or flight mode for longer periods of time than we're supposed to be in.
Speak on it, baby.
Okay? So in order to get out of that, we gotta it sounds crazy, but breathe.
Yeah.
Because what happens is when you take a deep breath, when you and you sit there for a moment, it turns the lizard brain off.
That reptilian side.
Okay. It turns it off. It gets you out of fight or flight mode. And now you can logically think.
Right. You can think, and you cannot. The same mentality that created a problem is going to take a different mentality to solve that problem. Mm-hmm. And if you're in the fight or flight,
if you're in that lizard brain,
sorry to say,
you're not going to come up with good ideas.
You're really not going to be solving much.
You're going to find a way to survive.
Right.
But in the way that you survive, you may be kicking yourself in the morning.
Right. And you don't want to survive. Yeah. You want to thrive.
Yeah, you want to. Exactly. So you're pretty much setting yourself up to survive, but when you're setting yourself up to survive, that's a day-to-day thing.
Yeah.
You want to be able to thrive and not have to worry about this BS that's going on.
I mean, look, you wanna thrive. Hold on, my patch got lifted up. You wanna thrive.
Right.
You don't want to survive. You want to thrive. You want to feel good. I mean, yeah, fair is necessary. Everything is necessary.
Yeah.
You know, we're not saying that these things are not here to serve us. Some of these things are here to serve us because sometimes you need to know, oh, snap, let me hold back, let me pull back. The body is designed to hold small amounts of fear for a small amount of time, okay?
Small amount of time.
Small amounts, and it is okay. But it's not meant for us to constantly be in that vibration. It does not serve us physically, mentally, or spiritually. It does not serve us to be in that vibration for an extensive period of time. I promise you it doesn't serve us, and it doesn't do us any good either. It weakens your immune system. That's the first thing that it does. It attacks the immune system.
It shortens your lifespan because it shortens the telomeres.
Yeah. So
so many things.
We don't need to be buying into the BS, right?
No. So yeah, in a nutshell, what needs to happen, and I'm telling y'all right now, it's not so many times that we're going to be really suggesting things strongly to you,
right?
But in this particular situation, it would behoove you to say no, especially when you don't agree to the terms and conditions.
Right. You can say no, especially if something is really not good for you, like physically, mentally, spiritually. If something is infringing on your
on your sovereignty,
on your existence on this planet, if it's infringing on you, you can say no. No, thank you. You can. Don't let nobody rock you to sleep and trick you and make you feel like you can't say no. I'm gonna just give y'all a small, tiny example. Okay, you two might not like my example, but I'm gonna try to use different words.
Yeah.
So
Just use different words.
my
Our
kids,
people are smart.
like I have my kids, and this is just what works for me. Something might work different for you, but this is what works for me and my kids and my generation. Okay, because you guys know I'm for herbs. I'm pro herbs, pro life. When I was enrolling my kids in school, they gave me a very hard time, and they lied to me, and they told me that, oh, your kids can't, your kids won't be able to come to this school because they don't have what's called a blue card. And I was like, are you sure about that? Are you positive about that now? She was like, yes, they need a blue card. Otherwise, I can't sign them up. I was like, well, we'll see about that. Because guess what kind of card I got, boo-boo? I got a white card. And we all know in this society, if it ain't white, it ain't right, baby. So I got my white
Sad
card.
to say.
Yeah, here go my white card. She was like, oh, yep, that's right. Oh. Okay? So in other words, what she was trying to tell me is that if I didn't poke a whole bunch of stuff in my kids, you know what I'm talking about, poke all these things in them, where they got to have like 90 different
Pokes.
before they get to the age of whatever. So my kids are not poked up, okay? Nope. But they have very, very strong and healthy immune systems. They don't get sick because I know how to take care of them. They have healthy body. They're healthy kids. Up to my 20-year-old, very healthy, don't really get sick. And if he does, I know how to take care of him. And so, but what I'm trying to tell you is don't let anybody rock you to sleep. Don't let anybody trick you. You can say no. But, when you allow them to lie to you, you're acquiescing. Yes. And knowledge is power. That's why I named my first son Knowledge. Okay, and wisdom. Wisdom is the proper and the right execution of knowledge. Okay? Don't let them trick you.
Don't let them fool you.
Oh no. Bob Marley said,
all right,
you can fool some people sometimes. But what you can't do, baby?
But you can't fool all the people all the time.
Can you see the light? Stand up for your rights.
And we talk about rights in every situation, from relationships to jobs to government to even your house.
Yes, and govern your own mental. This is your mind. Govern your mental. Come on now, we're not gonna be lazy. No. We're gonna stop acquiescing. We're not gonna be lazy. Knowledge is power. For the lack of knowledge, the people would suffer. So you gotta get out there, you gotta do your own research. Do not be dependent on others to do your research for you. Right. Do not be a part of people's plans. Make your own plans, because if you don't have a plan for yourself, somebody's gonna plan for you. Okay?
Yeah. And one other thing to definitely keep in mind, and we said this before earlier in the video, how can somebody do something in the best interest of you and they've never met you?
They don't even know you.
They don't know your likes or your dislikes. They don't know your medical history. Nothing. They don't know your mental history. They don't even know your childhood upbringing.
Nothing. Don't you let no Microsoft programmer try to tell you which was good for you.
Don't let them program you.
Don't let them program you.
Okay.
Because guess what? The same things that they're trying to give to you, they don't even take their own selves.
No, they don't.
You don't got to believe me. You got a whole intranet.
Check it for yourself. Check it for yourself.
Check it out for yourself. Do your own research. Come on. This is literally, today is the beginning of a new year.
Beginning of a new year. If you didn't know, July 26th, and this video is being recorded. This is the first day of the galactic calendar. Come
on now. So this is time for us to wake up and stop acquiescing, right? Cut it out. Say no. It is okay to say no if something is infringing on your human right. You are a sovereign being, and you can say no.
There you go. And so with that, family, we're going to love y'all and leave y'all right where we found you. We love y'all. Peace out.